Many times, the problem is our interpretation of the problem. And I need you to pay close attention to what I'm about to share with you this morning. Many times, your interpretation of the thing you are going through is the problem, not the thing you are going through. May I announce to you that many of the things that you do, many of the feelings that you have, many of the ways you think are not original to you. Stay with me. The way you think, what you feel, what you do, many of those things are not original to you. You did not intentionally sit down to think critically that this is what I want to do and this is how I'm going to do it. Even in the situations when you sit to do that, many times you are still taking on the information that has been supplied to you over time. Is somebody with me this morning? So when you are confronted with fear, no, not that. When you are confronted with a challenge and you feel scared, you are afraid, you feel fear, it is not that the thing is actually the source of your fear. It's that the thing triggers in you some form of experience or knowledge that tells you that it is fear that you should use to respond to the thing. I need you to stay with me on this one. It is that thing you are seeing is triggering the knowledge of, oh, this thing, oh, when such a thing happens, it is fear that you should respond with. Is somebody getting me this morning? So it is not the thing that caused fear. The thing is just the trigger for the feeling of fear that you have. I saw a video recently. Interesting. I'm sure in Nigeria would never do that. So they had a bunch of kids, babies, those who never get sense, maybe less than a year old, that were still crawling, They had those children, and then they put snake right in the same space. A couple of snakes, a couple of kids. And these kids were playing with the snake, rubbing the body. The snake too did not bite. Well, I don't know if the snake is poisonous or not, but it wasn't shown in the video that the snakes beat them at any point. But these children were not afraid of the snake. And they were playing with them. And they played with them. And the parents who were in another room looking at their children through a screen were afraid, and some of them were they were not in the same room with the snakes, but they were afraid in the other room they were. But these kids that were with the snakes did not know that these things, by normal standard, everybody's standard, is a dangerous thing. You should not go close to it. Even myself, people put snake inside this studio where they now. I will go out and say, I beg, please go and remove that snake first before I come on air. Is somebody getting me this man? So the children did not recognize the snake as a source of fear. Because actually, the snake is not the source of fear. The same way I will leave the studio because there's a snake in the studio and ask someone who can come and remove the snake before I enter, even though the snake has not attacked me, whether it's poisonous or it's not poisonous, whether I don't want to know, just come out and first. That is the same thing that happens in many situations in life. The reason we exhibit fear is not because the situation is actually the source of the fear, is that we interpret it as a source of fear because of the database of knowledge that we have, database of our own fear-driven lifestyle, fear-driven culture. Is somebody with this morning? And I said earlier before we went on the break that you may need to open with an open mind. Listen with an open mind this morning. So when something happens and your response is, yeah, it is not that thing, it is you. It is you. Because scripture says that God has not what? Given us a spirit of fear, but of power, of love, and a sound mind. So God has, from inception, there is no fear inside you. That is why that child will be playing, the little child will be playing with snake who is supposed to run away from. And you as an adult that even have the capacity, higher capacity to deal with the snake, you go run from him. That is why some people get into business. Two people, one of them, two different individuals get into the same business. Both of them face equal challenges. One runs away from the challenge. He shuts down the business. He goes to start another one. The other one says, no problem. How can we solve this problem? And he solves it. The difference between the both of them is not the level of the problem. Is the human being that they are. Is the level of the fearlessness in their hearts. It's not that the one who faces the problem in the business and solves the problem has two heads, or he has more money, or sometimes he doesn't even have the money to solve the problem, but he believes strongly that he can. A wise man once said, the man that says he can and the one that says he cannot, both of them are right. So if every time you face a problem, you chicken out, you run away, business is not working, you shut it down. Your boss is not nice, you resign. Your wife is misbehaving, you divorce her. Your daughter gets pregnant, out of wedlock, you disown her. And so on and so forth. And then you see how we keep on running from pillar to post where you are supposed to stand. The reason you are facing that problem is because you have capacity to surmount it. You will not face a problem that you don't have capacity to surmount. Yes, I said it. God will not try you to that level. You will not be tested with something that is going to drown you, that is going to swallow you. If you say this thing is a temptation, it is not the thing that is actually being a temptation. It's that you have a weakness. That is why it's a temptation for you. Because the thing that is a temptation for you, for someone else is not, is a strength. Is somebody with me this morning? So stop complaining, stop running, stop shifting the buck, stop shifting blame, stop saying is this one, is that. It is you. It is you. Because that thing is not actually the thing. The thing that is actually the thing is how you perceive or interpret that thing. And if you can fix how you interpret the thing, you would have fixed the problem itself. Sometimes the problem doesn't even need fixing if you do not. Is somebody getting me this morning? Sometimes you just need to ignore it as if it doesn't exist and it will fizzle away. There's some battles that you need not fight. There's some people that you need not fight. There's some things that you need not fight. But because that thing triggers in you fear, triggers in you uncertainty, triggers in you whatever it is that is not right, then you do what? You get into panic mode. And when you get into panic mode, what happens is that you allow the enemy to overpower you. If you get into any situation where it can be seen that you are afraid, you've lost. The moment you are afraid of anything, you have lost. The moment that your adversary, your enemy, your opponent, your competitor, anybody sees that you are afraid of that thing, you've lost, because at that point, the person's confidence is boosted that, this one's terribly fair. I go finish him. You do not make the best decisions when you're afraid. You do not take the right steps when you're afraid. You do not say the right words when you're afraid. In fact, the reason many people are poor and will remain poor is not because they cannot make money. It's because they are actually afraid of poverty. And that which you fear, I fear most, has come upon that. That is what the Bible says. It's Job that said it. That thing that you are afraid of the most is going to come upon you. Because what? As you are afraid, you are radiating energy. You are sending signals into the world. This thing will kill me, oh, this thing will destroy me, and it will actually do. Fear in many ways has become a virtue in the world. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of suffering, fear of the unknown. You don't even know anything about, yet you are afraid. Lord, the scripture has given us a completely different framework. A completely different framework. Completely different framework. Somebody listening to me this morning. Challenges are a part of life. Are a part of life. If you are living in this life and then you don't have one problem, no single problem, you are not living, you are dead. So the proof that you are living is that you have a problem to solve. So why run away from it? Why live like a dead man alive? Because the only person that is dead that doesn't have a problem, the only person that doesn't have a problem is one that is dead. But you, now you are running away from the problem. You're trying to be like the person that is already in the grave. Jesus did not even say, follow me and it's going to be easy. No. As a matter of truth, John 16:33 says, in this world, you will have, it didn't say you may have trouble. It's not maybe not. You will have trouble. Will. If you don't know what will means, W-I-L-L, ask an Englishman or ask dictionary or ask ChatGPT or ask somebody to tell you. You will have a problem. Say, take heart, because I have overcome the world. So why do we treat problems as if no? See, I've come here to challenge your belief, to shake some tables. And what I'm saying is, I know, countercultural. But when you accept it, your life becomes a lot easier. Not easier because you suddenly have more money in your account or everything. It becomes easy because you put things in the right perspective and you understand things for the reason they happen actually. Moses had to face Pharaoh. David had to face Goliath. Esther had to face death. He had to face death to save her people. Jesus had to face the cross. Even though the thing they pain up. And he was going to say, let this thing pass. Baba remember say, not my will. He had to surrender. So you don't run away from fire. Stop running. Remember I don't know who made that sound. But it's used in a lot of skits. Why are you running? Why are you running? You don't run away from fire. You walk through it, knowing that God is with you, because He's giving you not the spirit of fear, but power. See, the problem you're facing isn't to expose your weakness to shame you. It is to reveal God's strength that you already have that you do not know. The best of you will not come out of you when everything is working. The best of you many times will come out when things aren't working well. When you're on the edge, when it looks like you're on the verge of losing everything. The world will say, play it safe, protect your image, minimize your pain, avoid risk, this one, that one. But Jesus would rather tell you, whoever loses his life for my sake will find it. So you do what? You take up your cross daily. Your cross is not easy. That challenge is not. Stop being afraid. That's what I've come to tell you. Stop being afraid. All the fear you don't fear all the while, waiting you don't do for you. It has made you feel safe, forgetting that there is no safety in being safe. The person who is safe is the person who has conquered the challenge, running away from the challenge. See what happened? Goliath was there 40 days. What was the guy doing? He was braggadocious, bragging around about how he would destroy them. The 40 days, all the soldiers they were afraid of him, afraid of one man. Nobody could confront him. And then one tiny boy came and he said he's going to destroy the Goliath, and Goliath self laughed. So the problem is not the problem many times. The problem is not the problem many times. I know 1,001 people who would, see, if you can conquer this fear thing, half, if not 90% of your problem is solved it. If you can grow into walking fearlessly, and I'm going to break it down one day, how to break the backbone of fear. But time is fast, and I just need to introduce us to this. Fear is the worst thing that can happen to you. I tell you. I'll give you an instance and I'll close. Maybe I'll take 1 or 2 calls. I remember when I was in university that year, the lecturer failed all of us that did sat in the particular hall. Everybody. And I'm wondering, why would they fail us? And we had to report the stuff, call for our script, because those of us in that room, some of us couldn't have failed that course. Imagine you had been taking your mate's tutorial on a particular course, and then you write an exam in that course, and they paste result and show you that you failed the course. You just know that it's not possible. You just know, say, this thing is not possible. And then you approach the head of the department and says, better just prepare to write it next year. See the person that's supposed to fight for you telling you that just accept your fate. Nobody can fight them. And I told my God, guys, come. Let us go and meet this guy. And we sat outside his office 1 hour, 2 hours. He was inside, he wasn't going to come out. The security was like, And when everybody was tired, saying, you know what, let's just go. Something told me, you're not going to give up like that. Yes, if you enter his office, he can, but enter first. What's the worst that can happen? He's not going to fail you the course twice. He's not fail you already. He has failed you already. See, when I'm saying you need to be fearless, it's not theory. It's something you need to practice on a daily. I returned to that office the secretary was not even paying attention. I just opened the door and entered the office. And guess what was the result of everything at the end of the day? He must say, Yemi, I don't know you're part of this. No, you shouldn't have. Don't worry, we'll remark your own. And just by not giving in to the fear of, if you enter this guy's office, he will do this one. And everybody was already leaving. They asked, I called them, guys, come back. Come back. And that was how we overturned the result. I'll close with this. I saw a movie recently, and it's a story of the popular, I don't know if Gen Zs know this game, but if you're old enough, you know the Tetris game. I don't know if it still exists in today's world. And how the game started. And there was a particular guy in Japan, I think it was a US citizen or something, or I don't know, maybe a Dutch guy, was married to a Japan. He was a software developer, and he wanted license to the Tetris game. And because Tetris was built by a software programmer in Russia, and in Russia as a communist country, they're practicing communism, they don't sell things, they won't even allow you outside Russia to have the game. And this guy kept pushing and pushing. At the point he tried to buy the license from someone who sold him a lie, fake stuff. He got to Russia, they were even going to arrest him. They threatened him, went to his house back in Japan, threatened his wife that tell your husband to come back. In fact, to make matters worse, he went to Russia on a tourist visa. And one of the laws is if you go on a tourist visa, you are not meant to do anything business. And this guy carried coconut head to enter the government agency where he will be negotiating to get the license for the game all over the world, when he shouldn't even be found anywhere close to anything serious. You should only be going for tourism, and when he's done, get out. But he used that coconut head to enter. They threatened that they're going to arrest him. They said, let me not drag the matter too much. At the end of the day, the guy got the thing. Yes, he had to go back to Japan, then go again, then this one, then that one. But because he was daring enough to step into the place where they say, nobody should do this thing. Sometimes the thing that you really are praying for is on the other side of you acting courageously, fearlessly. To ask yourself, that have I been shortchanging myself? Have I been pulling myself back by not taking those steps that I ought to take, that you know you ought to take, but fear will not allow you? What will people say? What will they think about? If you do, then go talk. If you no do, then go talk. I'm going to help you. God will give you understanding of what I've just said. God will give you understanding. Somebody's saying, but I tried and I failed. But call me up. In fact, let's have a conversation. Call me up this morning, 00369.